and Pastor. My apologies. Thank you so much, Ma, for having me here today and for allowing me to minister on your platform, on your pulpit. It is something that I do not take lightly. I normally say this.
So this video has gone viral. We all know that South Africa is a country that is not safe like some other countries also, but the rate of criminality in South Africa is so high. The short clip you watch, you might not understand it, but it is that of a prophet called Dwayne Gordon. He was invited as a guest speaker to minister in a church, and some unknown G-men came in, and unfortunately, it was the one that lost his life. It was only one shot, and that is a little bit suspicious. Like, how come is the only one that they decided to take his life? Now, calling him a prophet does not necessarily mean that these guys do not do some other things. You know, some of them have the gift on them. They can see. Sometimes they, kind of lose sight, and they try to fake some visions and all of that. They do many things. We know that they do these things, and some of them even take advantage of women using their gift. They kind of do terrible things to women. Some defraud people. We know we cannot rule all of these things out because people are kind of confused. They're like, what is going on here? Can we just understand? Can we, get to see what's going on? Like, how could someone be in the church about to minister and someone comes saying, well, where is the protection? Now, that brings also the issue of personal security and guard. That is why you find many of these pastors moving around with serious security. Yes, that's why they do this. Well, even if a protocol was right in front of him, definitely when that protocol sees G-men, he will want to protect himself too. If you look at that video, you realize that he was kind of stunned. He looked and he's like, although the camera did not show us if the G-men came through a door that is close to the altar, to the pulpit, we don't know. But the way he stopped, it looked, is kind of like, what is going on here? He was so stunned that he could not move. Now, there are people who are saying maybe some other jealous pastors and prophet like himself. You see, a lot of people are so gullible. They think when you hear pastor, prophet, bishop, he sees visions, he prays for people. They believe that these people are just, birthed from inside of God, like they are so pure. Everything they do, they say is just divine. No, it's not. These are human beings. They are human beings, particularly those that have the gift. They are human beings. They can see, they can prophesy. Some of them even manipulate you because they've been doing it for a long time. So they know how to kind of say one word and try to, are you married? Words like that. And you say, okay, because the Lord told me that you are not married. Okay, the Lord is about to give you. No, they begin to kind of manipulate you in that way because they know that you do not even know anything. And you say, Papa, that has become the practice now. Papa, my spiritual father. Before you know it, someone is praying for you. Someone is trying to tell you that God told him to tell you. And he's beginning to call you my son, my daughter. It's a practice. It's a practice. And when someone begins to call you my son, my daughter, it means whatever the person tells you, you will accept. And if the person says, sow a seed, God said, if you do this, if you will get this, if you don't do this, it becomes frustrating to some people. So we don't know, we cannot rule out if he had offended some people. Maybe he had taken advantage of some women, because many of them do. Or he had taken money from someone, lied to the person. Or it is the altar of his father's house, as they often say, ancestral spirits that he has not finished dealing with, that decide to deal with him. Now, I'm sure if you are spiritual, you might be like, seriously, you mean God will allow the altar of his father's house to dominate the work of God that he's doing? After all, for him to have to do what he's doing, he probably had a covenant with God or something deposited inside of him. That's so complex. That's why I'm putting out this to you guys so we can talk about it. What do you think happened? Do you think he offended people and they came at him? Do you think envious pastors, because it is not just the kingdom of darkness that you are fighting now. There are some pastors who are supposed to be of light, but they have decided to give themselves to wickedness. You will never know. They have their own cult, they have their own group, they have their own, people that can use physical means to bring you down if they cannot get you down spiritually. You see, the spiritual realm is so deep and complex. It's so deep and complex. So who did this? Is it a jealous minister? Was it a setup by the church that invited him in? Would they have done this, bringing this close to their own door? Or did someone try to put problems into like what happened? And someone say, is it not a prophet? How come he didn't say that someone is going to take his life that day? I don't know. I can't really say. It could be that God said, look, man, it's better I take your life today, or he had done this in the past and God is punishing him like this is how you are going to go before you end up spoiling my work. Come and go in this way. God knows everything. God knows everything. And even the inviting pastor, or maybe he had been told, because some of them will be told by another one that someone is going to RIP you. You are going to, something is going to happen to you. And they'll be like, it's not possible. Nobody's going to do that to me. And lo and behold, it happens to them. I'm very sure that some, in quote, prophecies will begin to turn out. Someone will say, I warned him, I told him, what did I tell you? Every one of them will try to do their prophetic gymnastic, like, oh, I saw it, forensic, my eyes are open. They'll begin to say all of these things, which could be true, and some of them could just be cloud chasing. We believe that the police are going to investigate and do more about this, and maybe those who are spiritual, who have the gift, can also see where all of this came from. It is so sad. It is so sad because people are talking about this particular prophet that lost his life right there on the pulpit with the microphone in his hands. He was about to speak, and G-men came in and they took his life. What are your thoughts about this one? Like I said, SA is a country that you have to be very strong to live in there. Every second, anything can happen to you. Drop your comment, like, and share. See you in the next update.